that corner piece.
So it's we have 6 sides to make this wider.
So we finally settled on a final configuration for the couch. This works out so much better because it's utilizing all of the seats. Before we had like one seat that was just floating by itself and not a part of the couch. So now it's all fully a part of it and it just feels more cohesive. Only issue is we're definitely missing a piece. So we had to order that. It should come within like the next week or so. We have to find the like pillow to add for it as well. Or we might just do something unique. I don't know. But overall, like this a lot better. And now when our friends come over, I feel like everyone can like sit together and feel like a part of the, I don't know, activities that are happening in the living room. So that's definitely part one of what we're doing in the living room. We wanted to see how the space would look once the couch was all together. Next is this getting redone, and then a new rug. Shout out to Chick-fil-A rewards. We love a free breakfast. I feel like this is a terrible angle and the sun is making it really hard to see me, so hopefully this record's okay. But I am leaving the office now and I actually have to stop at FedEx because I did a thing. I know on my last, maybe like 2 or 3 vlogs ago, I might have mentioned that like I'm not doing too much when it comes to like buying new gear or like things. I'm trying to work with what I have, and there was only like one more thing that I wanted and I finally got it. So one rule that I've given myself though, if I'm buying something new because I truly believe that it's what I need for what I want to do versus like what I have, then I have to get rid of something. So with that, I am selling my lens because I got a new lens for vlogging and all the things. So this is the 10 to 18 4 aperture lens. I don't know how to ever like say that, but while this was like a good lens, it just didn't have a low enough aperture for me. Low enough, high enough. The number was a little too big for the style and look that I want. I want a little bit more flexibility. So I got instead a 11mm 1.8 lens, and I already love it. I'll show it when I get home. But of course, because I got that lens, I now have to part ways and say goodbye to this one, which totally fine, totally fair, because they're both wide angle. And to be honest, even though this one had multiple focal lengths, I was really only using it on one. So at least for my Sony camera, I'm learning that I gravitate more towards prime lenses and then just using like a digital zoom if I need to. And most times I don't need to zoom with it, just for like how I've been using it. And then I have my DJI. So from like a content creation perspective, I think that is it. I don't need anything else. I have my 35mm, I have my 11mm now, then my Sony camera and my DJI. I have a microphone, multiple, like one for my Sony that like attaches to it, and then I have the DJI mic mini, which comes with 2 mics on it, and I have 2 tripods. We have way too many lights at the house. I don't need anything else. You guys are my witness. You're holding me accountable. I don't need anything else. So now I'm just going to take this to FedEx to get it all shipped to the company that I typically sell my stuff to. I'm getting ready to record some content. I just got back home, but I wanted to show the difference with my lenses really quickly since I just sold one. What I'm recording on right now is my 35mm f1.8 Sony lens, and I've had this lens for a while. Absolutely love it. It's actually kind of the reason why I wanted to get the 11mm, or at least something with a lower f-stop number, because I love the way that it looks in like blurs everything out. With the other lens, it was an f4, so I wasn't really getting that look. At least not the way I wanted it to be. So this is the 11 millimeter. And the other thing that I really like about this lens is it's very light, very small. So if I wanted to use my Sony camera as I'm like out and about and vlogging, I could do that. The 10 to 18 was like twice the size of this one. Like, this is tiny and super lightweight. So overall, I think it was a really good choice. Now that I understand like my content style and what I'm doing, no more lenses after this. I truly don't need anything else. Like, what I have now is perfect and can work for like any direction that I go in, really. Like, I'm not trying to be a cinematographer or something like that, but just from like my content perspective, this is more than enough. So I have 2 cameras, 2 lenses, 2 mics, 2 plus tripods. I really don't need anything else. So I guess that was like a little mini content creator gear overview. Like, you can see what my 35 millimeter is like. You'll see what some of my other footage in this vlog, because I already started using this lens, what the 11 millimeter is like. And of course, the DJI, that's like all throughout my vlogs. I've been using my DJI since December. So you can see like the quality that I'm getting from it. But overall, I think I have a pretty good collection. Now I'm gonna record some content, specifically some of my fragrance content. I just finished recording everything and I moved everything from my SD cards to my SSD hard drive, just so I can start organizing and start editing. And I thought this might be a good time to kind of like talk about how I balance working a 9 to 5 plus keeping up with my content, because I think me doing it for more than 30 days of being consistent, that I've kind of gotten into a rhythm, which is nice. And then what my plans are for the future, which a lot of this consistency and this like system that I have in place is going to be really important. I try not to like batch record because I realize that that does not work for me. So what I'll do instead is, because my content is structured in a way where it's really like episodes, so I have like my series and then like I know what it is I need to record for each series. And thinking of it in series also made it easier for me to break it down without being too like rigid. So like I still have the flexibility and creativity space to switch it up or change it if I need to, but I just know like, okay, I need to post an episode for this series, I need to post an episode for that series. And then those 4 series are actually built around like me living my everyday life, so it's not like I have to sit and like create this production or this perfect scene and like all of that stuff. I don't want my content to be that way. So the only one that I would say is a little bit more manufactured is my Fragrance 101s, because those are informational. So I definitely have to like map out my script, make sure that I'm touching all the points that I want to touch on. But everything else is really just, if I have an idea, does it fit within one of the series? The answer is more than likely yes. And then I just build it out the way that the series kind of like works. So I have a whole ClickUp calendar that I use. And so in the calendar, it doesn't say like what each episode is about. It just says like, here's the episode and like the day that it's supposed to be posted, just from like a consistency standpoint. So like my hair journals, I always try to make them, well, I call them a hair journal internally, but my hair content, I try to do those on Fridays. My vlogs are Sundays. What's the other one I have? Like the Fragrance 101s, those are Tuesdays. So like I kind of already know like something is coming up. I might not have like all the pieces together, but I can still be like flexible on what that looks like. And if I need to change things up, I can change it up. It's just moving it on the calendar. So this has been working, and I've been doing it week by week instead of trying to like batch out the month or like record multiple at a time, because I'm also experimenting with the content at the same time. So like my fragrance of the day, I completely switched up how I'm doing it now compared to how I did it last year. And I tried a new format at the beginning of the year, absolutely hated it, and then my numbers showed that as well. But then I refined it a little bit more, and so what I've recorded today is going to be like a new experiment to see like how that performs. And so with me doing it week by week, it also gives me a chance to see like, is it turning out the way that I wanted to, and then how is it performing? And I know like this is still like a creative thing for me, a creative space. The marketer in me, like I still look at the performance. Like I can't get over that. So I think this system has worked so far, where I don't feel like overwhelmed with my content or like I can't handle or balance it. I don't feel like I'm overly consumed by trying to create, edit, all the things. So it's very manageable, and I think this has worked for me so far. And I still have space to, you know, add in like fun and like other things. Of course, I still have my 9 to 5, and like with my corporate job, that is something that I'm going to keep the way it is. So like I'm very intentional about the hours that I start working and stop working. Like I don't work weekends. I don't work like past a certain time unless I absolutely have to. Like, okay, there's something that we're all working on and the deadline's like approaching, or if I'm going out of office for like a long time, like I'll do things to like plan ahead. I don't work nonstop. That's like my boundary. The next piece is, if you're new here, I used to kind of sort of do marketing consulting, and I did that for like years. And at the time, I did like a variety of things, like not just marketing. I also did like web design, graphic design, like all the things. It was kind of like a one-stop shop, social media management. But it got to the point where I didn't have boundaries in my business, and so it started to really like overwhelm me, and I just hated everything about it. So after my last contract with one of my clients ended, I just decided to like stop the whole thing. While I have been enjoying like having more free time to do more like creative things, I do kind of want to start getting back into it. So I did a bit of restructuring already, kind of like mapped out what my offers would be, mapped out what my boundaries would be, because we're not doing that again. Now the next phase is for me to start thinking about like how I'll start to get new clients coming in. And so this is more like marketing systems, strategy, and operations is what I'm focusing on. I'm really happy that I'm in a space where, from a content creativity perspective, like I have a system, it works, and it's not taking too much of my time. It's not too labor intensive, like it's something that's still manageable. So that way when I start bringing in Grow with Dash, which is the consulting side, I can do it in a way that's intentional as well and still like protecting my time while also working with maybe a client or two at a time, while also trying to live a life, have a social life, be married, and maintain that relationship, working out, pole dancing, doing all the things that I love. It just feels like there's so many things that I want to do, but like the whole point, or like the most important part, is just balance. So I think that was like a very lengthy chit chat, but I do think that it's really important to find that balance, especially if you're trying to be like a multi-layered individual like I am. And I feel like sometimes people don't talk about that part enough. They'll only focus on like that one lane, where like I'm setting the boundaries across all the different lanes that I have, just to make sure that I can actually do them all and enjoy it and not feel like burnt out. Now that my footage is organized and I'm waiting for my groceries to get delivered, or our groceries to get delivered, I'm gonna do a little bit of editing. Hopefully I can get one of the videos up today. Yeah, hopefully I can just get the video up today, and we'll see what I feel like doing after that. Now, you probably saw me put away all those groceries, and you're probably thinking, Ash, didn't you get groceries delivered yesterday? I did. However, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't think every demographic, or I don't think there's a certain demographic that should be allowed to grocery shop. Do with that information what you will. I, in my order, said that I wanted a value pack of bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, because we use that for meal prepping. This person decided that they were, instead, because they couldn't find the bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs in the value pack size, to instead give us the value pack size of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Now, I can commend them for it being the same part of the chicken. It's missing two components that I wanted, the bone and the skin. And instead of just saying, oh, let me go to the like one fridge over to just get the smaller packs of chicken thighs and maybe get multiple of those that will equal a value pack, they just got me a completely different thing. So I ended up just doing a pickup order of that plus a couple other things that I wanted for dinner tonight. Yeah, that's not like the first time that's happened. Like there's been another time where I was ordering paper towels and I just wanted a 2-pack of paper towels because we're not buying in bulk as much anymore. I was like, okay, 2 of the jumbo sizes will last us a while. And it does. The shopper sends me a picture of the shelves for the paper towels and says, it's not available. What do you want from the picture? They had single of the paper towels. So you can get 1 roll. And in my head, I'm thinking, why not just pick up 2 of the single rolls to give me the 2-pack that I was asking for? Critical thinking is not very common anymore, and a certain demographic should not be grocery shoppers. Those 2 things is causing issues when it comes to this grocery shopping. And I've seen it all over like threads and social media of people getting like wild things in their orders because someone just didn't think, hey, they were asking for this. This thing, as is pictured, is not there. What is the next best item that I can give them that is as close to the thing that they were asking for? That ends my rant for today.